Your integration projects have an end date, a budget, and a handover. That's the problem. Because the day after handover, who owns it?
That's a beautiful thing. When you're able to productize your integrations, make it as a service, you can put a price tag on it. Most of the integrations are approached with that. And of course, we need a project there. I'm not saying that. But then if you really want to be a reliable partner for your business, you need to productize this and provide it as a service. First, you need to productize the integration, which means that it's repeatable. You can communicate it somehow. And it has a kind of the customer can understand what they are getting. And then when you provide it as a service for your business, it means that it's in your service catalog. So it's one of the services that you provide, and you can really measure how you perform, what is the feedback you have, ways to improve, all of these like typical product/service things that you've been able to take into consideration. So I would say that the project, it's just the one part of the product or service in that sense. You need that still. Most of the people say that, okay, makes a ton of sense, of course, and then there's a but, and they go like, but how do we do it? We are not integration experts. We just have some people who understand integrations a little bit. 3 things that I would start with, which is more like a competencies, capabilities, and disciplines. So these things fall into these buckets, so to speak. So people, competencies meaning people, and that, for instance, the ownership comes from. So you can never outsource the responsibility. You need to find somebody who owns it, who owns the service, who owns the product if you go there. And then a lot of the other things about it, but that's the main thing we did with the ownership. Version control, lifecycle management. Yeah, these are the capabilities typically on the platforms. Platforms need to have capabilities, for instance, clear, understandable version control, rollbacks for the integrations and stuff like that. That involves also the change management, how easy it is to run changes, how you make changes there, so that you can communicate the change windows and the requirements for the changes for your customers. The documentation, unfortunately, quite often is the first specification with the project, and that's it. And there is no process for updating that, or the tools that you are using are not helping you at all. So I would say that the modern integration operations need a automation around documentation as well, so that it's understandable, so that it's not anyone's hard drive. So that somebody can take over the integration. So documentation is a key, but it has to be on a level that people can understand. One example would be a security service provider who had a kind of a classical ad hoc approach when customer required integration between their security operations center and customer service management. They just find somebody within their organization who knew something about the integrations, and then they just start building it. The feedback was from the customer side, but also from internal perspective, that customers were suffering of bad customer experience. It's a complex topic. Customers sort of expect that the provider would run it, but because you build it, the bridge from the both sides, you need to involve the customer. Even like customer harassment, I would say, they would expect to get your security service up and running, not the integrations. So the biggest change was that we helped them to standardize the integration delivery so that they have predefined templates for different kind of use cases. For instance, incident integration means certain things, it's a fixed scope, fixed timeline, and also fixed pricing. That's a beautiful thing. When you're able to productize your integrations, make it as a service, you can put a price tag on it. You can say, okay, this is what we deliver. It's not anymore, what do we deliver? And you go there, you go with your customers, okay, we know what we are doing, this is what you need. And now it's a standard way to deliver and operate, so they can really sleep soundly. They know that everything works 24/7 because they also have the operations around it. So it's not anymore firefighting, it's not ad hoc like fixing things. When there's a change, they know how long it takes to change things. They have a process around it. There's nothing new. That what surprises me is that still around the integrations, that's not the case with many companies. There's no way going around it. You should really treat them as part of your service portfolio and product. That's the mindset that you need to bring in. So you need to go away from ad hoc project base and find the ownership, dedicate people to this, have the right competencies in place. If you want to change something, you need to really invest into it. It's a mindset shift, it's a cultural shift, that it's part of our service delivery, not just a one-off here and there. That's what the decision makers have to really understand, that there's no way going around it. It's a complex topic, but we have to master it somehow. Because integration is like utilities, water or electricity. When they work, you don't get any kind of a reward, but when they don't, the customers really need to know where to call. I think that's one thing that, okay, how do we end this provide it as a service, or we own it as a product, we provide it as part of our portfolios so that customers have a clear understanding who to reach out, what they can expect, reaction times. Like any IT service, integration should be part of that. If I need an integration as a business, when I get it, and how much it's going to cost.